This is a small demo of knitting with a splint. I have issues with my thumb, so I use a knitting belt, and this needle is supported. Currently I'm putting the finger around the yarn so I can tension it, and I'm throwing with my thumb and my middle finger. So I'm just going to do a little bit of knitting so I can show you that knitting belts are useful for more than just thumb injuries. I broke my finger on Saturday using a flax hackle, most freaky accident ever, and it has not stopped me one bit. The other thing you'll notice is at the end of my row there is another needle. I'm currently working on a shawl, and the shawl has gotten to the point where I have so many stitches that I need to have a second needle. So I'm using a power loading tool. It's just a makeshift one. It's a piece of string or leather, and it's helping to squish all the stitches forward. So this is kind of pushing all the stitches, and my little finger is doing that as well. So let me just get to the end, and for those people who need to know how to switch between needles, I'll show you how I do it. And I'm sorry that it's taking a while, but hopefully you're getting good information about knitting with a belt and a splint for those unfortunate accidents. And maybe I will edit this to be a little faster. But as you can see, I'm not really impaired with my knitting. It did take a little bit of getting used to, but I was pretty much able to knit as fast as usual during my son's assembly this afternoon. And I'm almost to the end of these stitches. What I'm using right now are 14-inch hollow stainless steel needles. They are a bit slick, so if you have a slippery yarn, you might want to consider using bamboo. So as I'm getting to the end here, there's one stitch, two stitch. Now rather than switch needles right here, I will knit a few past my midline markers so that I don't end up with ladders. Now ladders are where you have a large portion of stretched stitches, and since I want to be sure that does not happen, I will knit a little bit past midline each side, and then I will take this out of my belt, squish everything together so I don't drop stitches, and then I will start knitting with the next needle. Now I also give it a good tug so that it doesn't have any slack in between. And sometimes I'll tuck this up underneath my armpit so that it stays a little bit out of the way, at least for the first few stitches. And then off we go.